ladies and gentlemen, for our spotlight discussion on professional prosperity, the culture and language of success. Help me welcome on stage Madam Dzigbordi Dosoo. Please give her a round of applause. Embarrass her with a clap.
Executive high performance coach and a thought leadership and visibility strategist. She began her career in investment banking in New York before returning to Ghana to lead the Trade and Research Unit at Strategic African Securities. She later founded Business Linkages International, providing consulting services to global institutions such as the World Bank, MEGA, IFC, and USAID. She is widely known for launching Allure African Group, a pioneering personal development and lifestyle brand, and introducing the Kanshi aromatherapy line to the US market. She also created and hosted the Dzigbordi Show, which aired across Africa, the UK.
So ladies and gentlemen,
let's clap together.
Help me welcome on stage again, Madam Dzigbordi Dosoo. Thank you very much.
Amanda, my naughty Amanda.
Coach D, the stage
my
is
naughty
yours.
Amanda. If I have to start talking about Amanda, it will be the whole session. So one day I'll tell you about Amanda. Hey.
The stage is for her, right? So she's talking about her.
Good afternoon. Oh no, I'm not feeling it. Good afternoon. Hey, I'm still not feeling it all. Good afternoon, bold people. Good afternoon. I want to hear you say, I am bold. I am bold. Amanda just did something now that threw Lucy and I off. She said, what is the one local word for transformation? We were all confused. I have been thinking, and I'm still thinking. I'm thinking in Ga, I'm thinking in Akan, I'm thinking in Ewe. I'm even trying to think in Hausa. Fatia, one word for transformation. Not change, oh, don't tell me change. Don't tell me restructuring. She said transformation. Is there anyone who can answer? One word. Not a sentence. Try. Sankofa. No. Sankofa is go and pick, go back. Yes. Go back and take it. No. And you see, yes, please. Sankofa. Ahubrasie. That's humility. You know, it's the first word of my sub-presentation. And that's why I'm like thinking, Yes. What is taboo? Khadija, what does it mean? Because I don't want to hear change.
You see, it's rather unfortunate. Taboo means two, transformation and change. So taboo means transformation, and it can also mean change in Dagbani.
Okay, I don't speak Dagbani, so I won't know. Thank you, my dear. I don't speak Dagbani, so I don't know. But what do you say? Yes, there's a hand here.
Oh, yeah, okay. So they're synonymous. So when you say taboo, it can mean the two.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I had a lady.
Yes, in Hausa it's sawi. Yes,
Sawi.
not sakia. Sakia is change.
Okay.
But transformation
So,
means sawi.
so like removing your scales, realigning them and bringing it back, like shedding off, realigning and intentionally putting it back together. Is that what it is? It's like such, you know, so you have to shed everything off, realign. And then that's, I mean, I'm trying to think of it in a word.
I'm thinking in a way,
Yes.
trotro.
But trotro isn't trotro. It's still change, right? Trotro. It's like changing over and over again. That's what ewe is. Yes. I mean, it's close, but yeah.
I'll go for Zimpa.
In what language?
That's a tree or fancy.
Zimpa. Lucy.
Zimpa, good name.
No, it's not the name. I like what you're saying, but it's not the name. Wow. This is something we have to go and come back to 2026 Bold New Normal with the answer. An assignment for us. Okay. Crystal.
Yes. So I went to ChatGTP.
Yes.
And ChatGTP says the tree word for transformation is insakraye, which means change, shift, or transformation.
Yeah, it's still talking about change. It's like synonymizing transformation with change. Yeah, ChatGPT. I can't Grace.
Hi.
Hello.
That's where we need to teach them. We need to let them add more vocabs. Grace, please give her a mic. Yes.
I'm only volunteering to answer because I want to be bold. Yes. So it might not be correct. But for me, what could bring transformation, I think, in any language, I'm Nigerian by birth, is ekabo, welcome. I think it's a word that just changes everything. When people feel welcome, it can transform the way people just respond to you. So there's something called leadership shadow. So the shadow you cast will create that culture, since we're talking about culture. So when you say welcome, or you welcome somebody, either in your language or in your behavior, there can be a transformation. Thank you.
I love it.
Yes, madam.
I love it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So, before I carry on the conversation, this is my second Bold New Normal, and it's been 4 years. So I want to know, not a volunteer, not an MC, not Lucy, not anyone who is a part of the team or a stakeholder, but someone who has been an attendee for all the 4 years. Do we have anyone here? Please come. Praise. I have a gift for you, because I just said, whoever it is, I'm going to give the person a cash gift, just for showing up again. So it just shows that we honor you, we appreciate you. Thank you for being bold year after year.
Thank you so much.
Doc, thank you. Please have your seat. Thank you so much. Very well done. You are very welcome. That's fantastic to come year after year. So, what are we here to talk about? I want to thank my darling Lucy, the team, and all of you for taking a few minutes to spend time with me. We are going to have a very important conversation. And the conversation we are going to have, I call it the shapes that shape us. And for every shape that I talk about, there'll be a tool or an action that comes with a shape. We are going to close the gap, in my mind, between the whole culture and language with 4 shapes. And this morning, I heard 2 things. I've been sneaking in by phone call or finding my way virtually into this conversation. So I'm here. And I heard Lucy say, she gave the background context to why it's always a circular shape. And she said it was because she wants everyone to be involved in the conversation. She wants everyone around collaboration, and that is this. And I also chanced upon the conversations that I've gone through, organization, systems. I've listened to everything. Now, and there was one recurring word, and I talk about it all the time. And that recurring word is always, before you attempt to do anything, whether it's organizational or whether it's systems, it starts with self, right? So today, my conversation is about you and I. For me, there were shapes that changed my life. And those shapes are the same shapes that can change yours. Do you know why? I haven't reached 9 yet, but I've had 7 lives. And I talk about it. I failed in 6 businesses, and this is my 7th. I had 7 miscarriages before Fafali came. So I've had 7 in numbers, not 9 yet. But I'm still growing. I'm still young, oh, shit. So at least there are some patterns in there that are built around culture. And so I would share those patterns, but most importantly, I will share the lessons and how I overcame so that you can do it. I always say that anything you see someone do, you can probably do it 100 times in the shortest possible time. Because 5 decades ago, okay, don't try to guess my age, but over that period, things were different. So you can do it in this time. Now, we were in a conversation 2 days ago, and Lucy said something. And I was smiling a lot when she said it, because it's something I do a lot. Anyone who follows me on any social media knows that walking is my thing. I love to walk. I mean, as daily as possible. I mean, any moment. Sometimes I even do it twice a day. Now, when I walk, I call it my conversations with God. I didn't know Lucy does the same. So I do prayer walking. But recently, I decided something. I'd been doing it, but I wasn't doing it intentionally. But then this year, I decided, now I'll be so intentional. Every time I walk past anybody, I always say good morning. But this time around, I walk around 3 or 4 a.m. in the morning. Every day. The sun never rises on my walk. So by the time I'm getting home, before it turns like 5. So I was intentional. And it was so interesting what I found. I call it my mori. Sorry. So at 4 a.m. in the morning, you at least find some 6 characters consistently on the road. It became my research project. The first one is the person I call the echo, an older adult, busy going to their this thing. Then I'll say, morning, ma, morning, da, more. It's the same. They are very alive. Most of the time, it's more, and they raise their voice. Very dramatic. Very significant, because my grandmother used to wake up at 3:30 and will start using the broom to wake everybody up. And if you are not waking up, she'll hit your door with a broom. Maybe none of you were raised by old ladies, so you don't understand what I'm saying. The second one was the worker. I see the worker, I call them the engrossed. Normally, they are sweeping the road, or normally it's the security guys at the gates, and then the first thing they'll do is when you say morning, they get this, should I not respond? I'm busy. So it's more like slow, then they'll say, good morning. So they respond slower. But when you greet louder, or when you use ma, da, bra, hey, it becomes a mirror. The third one is the thinker. You could see, sir, that this guy or lady is a hustler. They are thinking about how to get to their workplace, and their whole mind is, let me focus. So you will see the distant nod. They don't talk. When you say morning, I'm sure some of you are recognizing yourself. Then the Gen Zs, they normally do double take or surprise. I don't know whether they don't expect a greeting. It's like, what are you greeting me for? So you will see that they are startled, they do double takes, then they're like, oh, delayed. By the time they are responding, they are turning back, because they don't know about the normal culture. The ones that I love is the people that don't respond at all. They're on their headphone. Even if you are standing right in front of them, they are still going. And you find all of them. The frozen face is my favorite. The one that is afraid that when they greet you, you won't greet them. So by the time they come, they're already ready. How many of us are always thinking that if somebody doesn't greet you first, let's be honest too. Let's be honest. If somebody doesn't greet you first, and the person has a straight face, they are not going to greet you, so you're afraid of rejection, so you won't greet first. Please, lift up your hands. Most people do not greet, not because they don't want to greet, but they don't want to get rejected. Isn't it? Are there people do you feel that? Most of the time, you feel like, if I go and give first and she gives me, what does Fafali say? She airs me. When the person airs you, you feel it. So which one are you most mornings? Which one are you? The non-morning people. The people say, I'm not a morning person. Are you like the morning? Or are you the distant nod? Are you the echo? Which one are you? I just want one volunteer from here. Which one are you in the mornings? Are you the morning? Up. I don't say morning. I say good morning. Ah, she's the echo. Which one is here? You're an echo. Morning. Oh, that's good. Then I don't have a lot of, I'm not a morning person here. Okay, you won't do it. Which one would you do? You are a thinker. Absolutely. Distant nod. I get that. All right. What did you say you were? Thinker as well. Okay. Headphone. Oh, my God. Headphone. No response. And that one, I try to go in front of them to actually... You're always saying, I won't let them reject me. Who else? You see yourself every day, in everything. Over here. Over here. Echo. Oh. It depends on your mood, but mostly. Which one? The frozen face. Chai. Eh? Which one? The startled one, because a lot of you don't expect it. The thinker. Which one? The thinker. Echo. So, why am I saying this? One of the first things we were taught in our culture, African culture, is what? How to greet. It is like a typical, and it tests assumptions. That's what I was saying. So that's why I decided to do the research. Assumptions about anticipating rejection. It opens doors, and it gets people to bounce off walls in excitement. But that's something that lives in us every day. You won't find it so much in the West because it's not a socialization. But here, can you imagine walking into someone's house with your parents and you don't say? And the reason why I talk about greeting in particular is the fact that it doesn't matter, even if you are raised in the West as a child. Say good morning. So it's not just something we do at home, but it's something we value. So for me, one, when I think of culture, I think of it a language in the expression of what you were taught. And it takes me to why I understood the 4 things that I'm going to talk about. The 4 shapes are this. The first one is the depth of your self-awareness. The height of your emotional agility. The breadth of your anticipation or anticipatory intelligence. And then the length of your intention. And each one has a story, it has a lesson, and it has an extreme way it has impacted my life. And I know it will yours. Let me start with self-awareness. As a young child growing up, I always say this story. I think Lucy was one person that asked me about what RE is in Osu. I don't know anybody who grew up in Osu, but Osu RE means Osu Residential Extension. So Osu RE is where the Oxford Street is, where Papaya is, but up the road. So when you turn and you are going onto Ringway, so it's the residential extension of the Ringway estates. Growing up, I had brothers. Say brothers. Another group again. I had them, and I was the last. I had 8. I was the last and the only girl. In my thinking, I was average. But I wasn't average because my dad told me so or someone told me so. I was simply average because I thought it was important to dim my light. So even though I was told, you are brilliant, every time, I thought it was important because for me, I was the girl behind the boys. Hey, let me give you, my mom is Ghana, my dad is Ewe. So when you hear, Awula Efe Nakai, how many Ghanaians are here? A lady does not do that. Meaning that being a tomboy was a negative thing. Climbing a tree was a negative thing. Jumping a wall, that's another story, was a negative thing. So even though I understood the concept of doing all of that, I was always reminded that I needed to be what? A lady. What does a lady do? Humble, respectful. I mistook lady for woman or wife or traditional culture in my mind. So it now helped me to dim everything. I would win an award and I would say, oh, you go. I mean, people who went to Richard School with me, they'll tell you quickly. I mean, I'm always the one who is running away from the spotlight. I could not, for the life of me, think that I would help myself being visible. The same culture, though, that nearly silenced me was the same culture that saved me. And let me give you why. It was just the change of environment and trying to remain the same is what saved me. So everything about me was average. I was socialized. I was living like I had to live. Respectful, humble. I tell a story in my training sessions. When my grandmother has a visitor, sometimes my brothers go there. Then they'll go and, what are you talking about? Like, they'll go and talk to her. me is standing far away at the door. Because one fine day, she had a visitor, and the visitor called me, says, "Oh, Dzigbordi, come. And then when I got there, I ran. I didn't greet. I just went straight into the person's arms. Oh! And then when I was walking back, there were 3 people there. You know that thing where you don't see where the hand comes from? I don't know whether it's happened to you before. It is like lightning. Pa! And it goes like 3 at a time. Whoom! 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 Then you say like you're seeing stuff. I could not believe it because my grandmother doesn't look like, and she didn't do it in front of them. She walked a little bit further away, but within their visibility. Gave it to me, and now I stood there for a while. Slowly but surely moved out. So now when my grandmother calls me and says, "Oh, your grandfather Quarter is, okay. Good morning." Don't be over there. I'll be here. I don't go close. They're like, come. I'm like, oh, I'm coming. My grandmother has sent me because that was fear. But then it took me into the work environment. Let me just say, fast forward into when I started work. And I just want to get you to understand that in that environment, the first person I met, I was doing certain things which I thought were normal. I would go in, have my hands behind my back, greet, good morning, do what I have to do. And I used to say, I do what I have to do. Execute. My work was good, if I should say so myself. My work was exceptional, if I should say so myself. But I was seen. I'll do my work, but whenever they are going out, they pick somebody else. It just never made sense. They are going to make a presentation. They pick somebody else. They'll take my document, but they add another person. I began to get even worse. I was more emotional because I didn't know that was impacting me more negatively. So the more they did what they did, the worse I got. So I would come in, and I would come and do my work, and I would deliver, and then they'll take someone else. And when they call me to say, "You didn't do this, you didn't do that," I'm like, I did it. He didn't do it. I delivered this work. She didn't do it. It would have already happened. Then I'll be crying like a baby. Until one day I got a call from 2 different people. One was a lady. She wasn't nice. She didn't call me with niceties. She said, "Listen, do you want to grow or do you want to go?" And I was about to cry. She said, "If you cry, you will never have me to talk to again. Do you want to grow or go?" Listen, but I stood there. She gave me lay of the land. The reason why this is happening is you are doing X, you are doing Y, your hands are behind your back, you look down, you don't speak up, you are hiding in that corner. She, in Ghana term, we say what? Blasted me. And then do you know what she did? She picked up a bunch of clothes from her side, carried the bag and gave it to me. She said, "From today, when you're coming to work, wear this. When you come," she said, "hold this." So she told me, "Hold this thing. Walk around my desk." Then she was like this with me. "Look up, look up, look up." And she did this. I had to do this 12 times around her desk. And she said, "When you come to work tomorrow, do it until you get to the office. When you do that, leave it like that and keep going." She literally helped me, but in a very difficult way. That was my first foray to know that Your culture serves you in the environment where it matters. But it doesn't serve you in the same environment where it doesn't matter. And that was my first foray. So she then told me that if I'm able to do what she has told me, I was angry, I was upset, I was sad. But ladies and gentlemen, when I went home that day, I looked at the clothes. I'm not going to lie. I checked the thing. I was like, hey! Never seen. The next morning, you know how you stand in front of the mirror? You know those who have cupboard. Do you have cupboard in your house? You haven't seen cupboard. You see, inside the cupboard, there's a mirror. I wore the long skirt. I tucked the shirt in. It's like, it for me. It was the first step. And then I showed up. Even though I was angry or crying or whatever it was, here was Dzigbordi. I walked into work with my head held high for the first time. And honestly, first day, I didn't really. Second day, I didn't really get feedback. The third day, the lady at the reception, she said, there's something different about you. I was blown away. Now, my anger for her name is Miss Michelle. My anger for Miss Michelle began to fade. I realized there's something different than what I was doing. So I began to try to understand what she was saying. So that was when I went back to her office. And when I went, I knocked the door. I said, Miss Michelle, she had her head down. Miss Michelle, how can I help you? Hey, Madame Michelle, she was tough. Today when I see her, it's so funny. She's still alive, actually. She's in her 80s. So she then told me, she said, the only reason why I was doing this is I don't want you to come and put a blot on us here. You have to join us, whether you like it or not. You hear me? Are you ready? I said, yes. She said, sit down. Ay! Before she started taking me, your performance is good, you are pushing, but they keep bypassing you. And she was the only person who was at the top. And she told me, I'm not going to leave this organization being the only person in that room. So if you don't adapt, and she was hard, but my God, it changed my life. I believe a number of you need Miss Michelles in their lives. Now, a lot of times when we have them, we reject. And the reason why I'm saying a number of you is, feedback is not always sweet. Feedback is sometimes tough, but your ability to take it will change your limitation. So that idea of respect your elders, don't talk too much, let others go ahead. I love it. Good teachings, but when misapplied, they become a ceiling in our lives. And that is where I'm going. So it's about knowing yourself, knowing the situation, knowing the strength, and I'll get into it, and then knowing how you synchronize. Miss Michelle, synchronization is what helped me. If I had cried, I had misbehaved, I had walked out in anger, I would never have learned. And when she taught me those things, I started to see. And then I started to see myself being added to the concept of, oh, we are going to have a presentation. Come and sit in. But it took a while. So you can be the best at what you do. You can do it to the best of your ability. But if you allow your socialization to be a limit rather than leverage, you lose self in the process. Your self-awareness goes deeper than your strengths. We always talk about self-awareness, and we think it is. I want to refer to Dr. Hall briefly, research that I did in my coaching, and he talks about the high context cultures. So there are high context, low context cultures. There are different kinds of cultures in this world. And the high context culture, most African countries, particularly West, Central, number of us, that is how we are wired. Cultures of nuance, silence, non-verbal respect, and self-expression take a back seat to aligning yourself with potential. So even though we have capacity, I think we all already know that globally, Africans are known to be some of the most brilliant in the world. Did you know that? Did you know, have you seen Africans operate in the West? The neurosurgeons in science, the engineers. I mean, I'm talking about things that have not been done. Africans have done it. And studies have shown that when you think about Black excellence and you weigh it according to excellence in the West and excellence that was made in Africa, Africa leads. But the issue is not our capacity. The issue is our conditioning. You must understand socialization matters. And that is why I teach it that there is something that we need to define as the culture-corporate context dichotomy. Meaning that when you go to Rome, you do what the Romans do. It doesn't matter how old you are. When you get in front of your mother, your uncle, your grandmother, lay down, kneel down, put your hands behind your back, look down. But when you get into the corporate workspace, this means invisible. This means you cannot be trusted. Why? Because when the police stop you and you are asked the question, what do they ask first? Raise your hands. Don't they say hands up? Because they want to see your hands. Hands in front of you signal trust in the West. Hands behind you signal feebleness, lack of confidence, not humility. But when you come to culture and you put your hands behind your back, it signals respect, humility. Know the difference. Tell someone, know the difference. So my question to you is, let's look at this. What's beneath your behavior? And I want you to write this down. At the end, you can answer it yourself. But what is really beneath your behavior? Who taught you how to show up? Did your community reward or silence? Which traditions still serve you, and which of them must you release? That is my question to you. So, being raised in the African culture is beautiful. Please know that. It is how we are wired, and people look at it and admire it, but it doesn't work everywhere. That's all you need to know. What does it mean in my context, and what does it mean in the work context? Never disrespect, but also never dim your light. That is the difference. And I'll run through the other shapes. The second shape is the height of your emotional agility. And I told the story earlier that one of the things that limited me from my ability to grow in the workplace was because I was too emotional. So what everybody saw was the fact that when I was corrected, I cried. When I was blasted, I cried. When things happened, it is okay, but cry in the bathroom. Go and cry in your car. Crying in the workplace is very different from crying to your boyfriend, your husband, or your lover. The pain of emotion is something you can't do anything about, but it's also the environment that drives it. I just want to say that I learned along the way that emotional agility will happen to you whether you like it or not. If you hear any of my stories, and a lot of you have seen it, heard it on social media, if you haven't, it's probably there. But what I know is everybody goes through one thing that is relevant to them. And what happened to me, my losses in business, in life, my grief, all of those things built a level or a dimension of emotional agility. I learned the aspect of stretch, and I just want to give you the tool that I used. That tool is called stay. It's just a simple tool that when I began to walk through my pain of my inability to have children, go to the bathroom, miscarriage. Go to the bathroom, miscarriage. Or when I lost my business after 27 years of building it to be the height of everything. Or when I lost my husband in the process. Every time, the tool was the same. I said something Thursday. People see me today. Somebody said A. When I said 27 years, they are wondering, yes. The interesting thing I can tell you about life is business failure is not failure. Business failure is just rising from experience. Because you never lose. You never lose. But this is what I used. And I tell people all the time, scan the feeling. Scan the feeling. And know the word you use to tag it. And then ask yourself, can I handle it? So when I say value, your values, I'm not talking about just your beliefs, your systems. No, when I say your value is, I'm talking about what can you do now? So give you an example, okay? Every time I failed in business or I saw my business struggling, I knew I had value in my intellect. So I'll go back into the professional workplace and do consulting and use that to build. So when I say align your value is when I'm in pain, I look for the next opportunity to work. So many times, I came from an investment banking background. I had the knowledge. I had the capacity. What was I going to use it for? It was helping me in my business. But when things went wrong, I went out, worked 2 jobs, meaning I'm running my business, I'm working in corporate, bringing the money in, and restarting again. That is how I meant value. And what I did was, it changed a lot for me. A lot of us, we stay in level 1. When I scan the feeling, I stay there. Oh, today, things are not good. Oh. And I called Brother Francis. Brother Francis, the only one I have. Hey, Uncle Martin. Oh, Uncle. Oh, Uncle Martin Bekumio. Hey, Dzigbordi, what did I come into this world to do? Oh, hey, life. Hey, so Lucy, the only friend I have since childhood. Hey, Lucy's not minding me. Oh, hey, Fatia. Hey, I have known her since childhood. Today, Fatia has money, and now Fatia doesn't know her old friends. Then I'm in the feeling, hey, life, what do I do? Oh, what do I do? Meanwhile, you don't know what Fatia is going through. You have seen Fatia with her jeans and her distance standing on Instagram. And because she's standing there, they say, hey, today Fatia, she's as hungry as you. Probably you cry, you have 5 CDs. But Fatia is standing on Instagram, and you are standing somewhere using someone's life, imagination of life on social media to decide your next level. Tell someone, stop. Scan the feeling. Most of the time, the imaginations you have about people. Do you think that when I had nothing, 0 in my bank account, I wasn't looking good? When I didn't have fuel in my car, do you think I wasn't well dressed? Please, do I have a witness in the house? Most of the time, there ain't nothing there. Just the picture. Sometimes the picture was 2 years ago at a party with somebody, but you want to send a message on social media that Chale, meanwhile, Dama. So the bottom line is scan the feeling and know that what you are feeling, you need to do something about it. Don't stay there. Tag it carefully. Don't tag it as somebody who is against you, because the person you are going to ask doesn't have it. That is what I started to assume. So I said, figure it out, Dzigbordi, yourself. Go and look for a job. I tell it all the time, and I'm sure you've seen it on social media. I begged for jobs. Are you too proud to beg? Tell somebody you ain't too proud to beg. When you need it, you need it. The bottom line is, can you do the job? Do you have the expertise? Do you have the capacity? Do you have the capability? I used it, and I built on it. And honestly, that is what brought me back to life. The same skills I had. So the fact that I had moved on in business doesn't mean that I left the old skills. I put them together. And I used to build myself back. Went on fields. I mean, Grace knows. People know that years ago, I would do anything once it's within my remit to rebuild. Because I've learned that the height of your emotional agility is what sends you to your next level. If you can stretch in time of trouble, that is when your next level is waiting around the corner. So DCG Consulting Group, the business that I restarted, I started from Alio, that I built 3 years ago, I call it a startup with a 30-year business. That is what I say. A startup, because it is a startup, but it's new. I will wrap up with my 2 thoughts, my 2 other shapes, and I'll put them together. My 2 other shapes are anticipate. Don't ever sit around and say nothing will happen. Everything will be good. I use my daughter's words that I tell. Read the room, read the rhythm, and read the reason. So everywhere you are, understand people and try and align with them. Anticipatory excellence and intelligence comes from a concept. I'm sure Grace is very familiar with this, because if you're a coach, you would understand that people come from different personalities. So I'll throw it up for 1 minute. Everybody has a color that they operate in, and that color tells you how the person behaves. The problem we have is that we want everybody to be like us. So if you are kind, you are caring, and you meet somebody who is decisive, direct, then you have a problem with them. Meanwhile, you need to work with them too. You are expressive, you are happy. You meet somebody who is cool, you need to work with them. So the idea is read the room, understand everybody, not just by culture, but by personality, and try and align. And finally, the 4th shape. The 4th shape is simply the length of your intention. How far are you willing to go intentionally to reach your destination? It's as simple as that. If you understand yourself, you understand your emotions, particularly, you understand people around you, meaning your self-awareness and how you are socialized, most importantly. You understand how far you can stretch your emotions. You understand the criticality of knowing people and how they think and aligning with them. And most importantly, aligning with them. So intention for me was the true measure of my leadership. Being intentional with everything that I did. And I'll end with my mom. When I graduated university, my first job was in Syracuse, New York. I had to drive to Syracuse. Anybody who knows Syracuse I call it is frozen London. London's weather is basa. Syracuse's own is with a different level because you can be in an apartment on the 4th floor and it snows 30 inches and it comes to your window level. Sometimes you have to skate down. Look at me, African woman, coming from the sun. You have to skate down the snow to get into your car. And I was working 2 jobs. Full-time job, I close from morning to night. Then I go to my second job, which I work as an overnight customer care manager in like a DSTV. It was the CNN, Warner Brothers. So I'll work as a customer service manager from 10 p.m. to 10 a.m. Then I'll go to my office at 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. Abrochri. So my mother came to stay with me, and when she came to, it was in the summer. So I picked her up. We did a long trip from Virginia to Syracuse, and my mother thought, oh, this is fine. Then one day it will rain, the other day it will be hail, the other day it will be snow. And let me say it, that's what I can only say it in Ghana. My mother is Ghana. When she's speaking the Ghana, she learned Ewe. If she's speaking Ewe, you think she's Ewe. But when she's speaking the Ghana, hi, she said, hey, weather is okay. Meaning your weather is crazy, it's erratic. But you know, I used to be so angry. I'd get up in the morning. I'm like, Mom, I live in this country. I know what to do. Do you know by the time I get up, do you know what she would have done? She would have gotten me what do you call the thing? The sweatshirt and this thing. Then she'll get me a big dress to put it on it. Then she'll get me a dress. She'll pack all. She said, I said, Ma, I can't take all of these things to work. I don't, if you understand Ga, you get it. I wish somebody could say it in Tree, but it's like, or Ewe. So the way and I'll say, so what, I stopped arguing. I'll just carry it in my car and take it because she just didn't get it. She felt I'll be cold. What am I saying? The same way she'll pack the thing for me, it's similar to the concept of culture. Culture is layering, building your socialization. On top of it, that's my jogging suit. That's what she calls it. Jogging suit. Then I build on it the next layer, the next layer, the next layer. And then language is the zipper. Whether you pull the coat in or you take the coat off. When there is a situation, you can remove the layers. When it gets difficult, wear the layers. Because there will be heavy times, and then there will be lighter times. This word, even though it's a scripture, and I'm walking away, I know my time is up. Layer culture, learn it, love culture. Don't shun it. Bring it together. Culture is your jacket. In my mother's parlance, my mother's jacket, always bringing jackets. Language is a zipper. The world is not erratic. Like my mother would say, the world is crazy. The world is just dynamic. So my message to you is in life, work, business, wear your culture with pride. Live it. Your culture matters. That is your unique difference. And I'm sure you've heard it already. But use language to adjust. So I want you to remember, know what shaped you. That is your layers. Bend, but don't break. Bend, allow emotions to get to you. Read rhythms before they repeat, but stay the course. Now, you have that control to bring captive, Sana, bring me the thoughts and intentions. The bold new normal is not about becoming someone else in Africa, but it's about becoming the fullest, the freest, but most faithful to no one but God. He is the one that created you. And it says that 2 Corinthians, the Bible says that bringing into captivity the thoughts and the imaginations, casting down imaginations and bringing into captivity every thought and intention. You have that power to decide and control and shift. This is your bold new normal. This is your Africa. This is yours. Take the tools and make them happen. Sorry about the delay.
Thank you very much, Dzigbordi. Can we please give a round of applause to her? We have question and answers. I'm taking 3 questions.
Yes, I've taken your question time.
So the
Forgive me.
issue isn't your capacity, but your condition. 3 questions for her. 3 hands, very brief. So I have
I can see you after. You and we'll talk. Ohene, we'll talk. I know you have a question.
Okay,
but
so
I want to,
the lady
I
in
want
yellow.
to talk to the lady, and I'll come to Ohene, but I want to talk to the lady.
Okay.
I want to find out. She's been quiet listening there. I'm curious what she has.
Thank you so much, Auntie Dzigbordi.
Yes.
You have been an inspiration, and I've been able to ripple that down to my sister. You're on her DP now, so
Hey,
yes, she loves you so much. So I recently joined the corporate world. I completed the university last year, and I have kind of seen something with a lot of institutions, right? When I walked in, I've forgotten his name, but he was talking about passion, right? And he was talking about seeing that when he was talking about culture fits in institutions. So when they are screening or scanning people to join an organization, he looks at whether the person has passion. And most of the time, we interpret that with a person's enthusiasm and their smile and how they are curious and all of that. But I've also seen people who are passionate about something but do not express that in that particular way, right? You talked about how we all have different colors and we can't expect people to be like us. So how do you tell when somebody is passionate and is a good fit for a position, right? But then they do not express that by showing enthusiasm and smiles and all of that? Yes.
Actually, was it 2 days ago in one of my sessions, it came up. So I always say that passion is expressed through demonstration and execution. Actually, the main definition, I heard somebody talk about the important human skill, which I call power skills or strategic skills. Somebody talked about the important human skill, and the most important human skill that I know is clarity. You know, having clarity is, and I talk about clarity is from engagement and not thought. So clarity is you have to start doing it before you can get through it. And that is what a fit means. So when you go into an organization, and let's say that you are, you find yourself as an amiable, somebody who's not like an expressive. In the conversation, the most important definition of passion will be demonstrating to them what exactly said that you are passionate about, and then showing how you can take it from end to end. That is how people buy you. So a fit is not shouting, hey, I'm passionate. But actually, if somebody asks you, what are you passionate about? And you say, I'm passionate about building castles in the sand. If you just say that, building castles in the sand, you have to be able to demonstrate that I can go to the beach look at the sand, make sure that I pick seawater, mix it with the sand, and take them step to step. And then why? That is what I mean by when you demonstrate the execution, tell them why. And those two things will make you a fit. You see, when people connect with people, it's not always about sound. Confidence is not volume. Confidence is actually not loud. That's why I say if you go to and see people, it's not about confidence. Confidence is that ability to be clear, to be composed, and then to be able to demonstrate. That is confidence. So passion or a fit in an organization, that's what I coach people all the time. Understand what it is that you know well enough that you can demonstrate, not explain. And I want to correct it for those who are always going for interviews. Explanation is very different from demonstration. When you explain, they know it's theory. Trust me. Any seasoned person knows what is theory. Go and tell Kokui you know opera. She'll ask you 2 questions. And then she will start to dissect. The second question says, oh, I have a voice. And the voice does this. You yourself, you get up before you know you have gotten up. Any seasoned person knows the difference between explanation and demonstration. So that's passion. Ohene, I've given you the mic.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I'm Ohene Asante.
In 30 seconds.
Amanda, please, my question is, I have this particular boss.
Yes.
She thinks she knows what I'm going to say.
Before you say it.
Before I say it.
Because you're Ohene.
And this person is actually a distinguished Toastmaster. In Toastmasters, a DTM is the highest level of Toastmasters. It means that you're experiencing confidence building, leadership, public speaking, and also listening. Recently, we even did a session in Toastmasters for listening. And I'm going to work with this woman for a very long time. And I feel so stressed. So the last time, I sought an advice from my experienced person that how do I deal with this one? Because I also don't want to spoil the relationship and I don't want to run away. So please, teach me. I've come to your class now.
Okay, so I'll teach you after the session. Come and see me because they have to move on.
Thank you.
After the session, don't worry.
I'll take the last question. Okay, she raised her hand first.
Okay,
let me give it to her.
Yes, ma'am.
So let me precede my question with saying something small about myself.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm on the 4th floor. I actually got married in the 4th floor.
Nice.
So you can understand that even children forget it.
No.
I think that
Why?
Just let me finish my question. Let me finish my question. Understand
Anything
me.
is possible because you are seeing someone who understands.
I think that I have been through it, and I think that I have defined, I feel like I understand my situation, and I think that I have defined my length of...
the length of your intention.
My intention. And I'm being intentional about being okay. Would you say that I would need Miss Michelle, or would you say that it's something that I'm doing, it's so intentional, but sometimes I question myself. Are you covering over something not to get hurt? Are you shielding yourself from hurt? Or is it actually that this is really, truly like satisfaction that I'm trying to get?
So
I don't know if
you are trying to find out if it's a facade or if it's real?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
How do one know? Because sometimes I do ask this question in my quiet times. Yeah, is this really what it is? Because I'm really happy sometimes.
Sometimes.
Yes.
So that's what I was going to say. So I always say that the best test of your intention is peace. So it's not fulfillment. It's not necessarily happiness because it's an amalgamation of all of them. But the best test of your intentionality, to be able to tell, am I pretending or am I intentional? Pretense doesn't give you peace. After you pretend, when you go back, you don't feel right. But when you intend, when you go back, you feel so peaceful. And that is the best test. So when I always say, just not happiness, just not fulfillment, but peace. Do you feel still? Do you feel I always tell people, peace is like, you are in a still place and you're like, oh, you know that thing where when there's nobody around, I tell people that people think I'm so expressive. My daughter says, your social battery is like 2%. My daughter is always like, because most of the time you see me wanting to be in the room, hiding, and just lying there. That is my peace point.
So, Madam Dzigbordi, this is me.
Yes. So
This
is it happiness
peace, but
or is
then
it peace?
This is me. This is peace. But then, why do I worry about others sometimes?
Then you are not there.
Okay.
You see, so
Okay.
what makes you get there is continue to be intentional until you find. You will get there. The very moment you start worrying, then it's not peace. You are still trying. You are exposed to the journey, but you are not at the end. Trust me, peace is even in the storm.
Okay.
In the storm, when things are happening, and you hear, I am at peace. Be still and know.
Okay.
Even in the storm, that is peace. So peace doesn't mean everything should be perfect. Peace means you need to be still and know.